I was enjoying a nice, quiet cafe shop atmosphere with a Timmy's Double Double in hand at the Tim Hortons on Talesman Drive, just off of Muskoka Road South, when the likes of some guy who called himself in the third person the Donnie Kufo, burst into the Canadian coffee joint, ran at me full stride, then stopped within half a meter of my personal bubble, and yelled at the top of his lungs, "The 8-day bride," as I, as well as everybody inside, turned our attention to him, but I, and I alone, said, fine, whatever. Getting sick of this murder mystery bit. Thus activated my voice recorder on my phone and said, "Please, for the love of God, can this not be about an Irish axe-wielding drunk?" King of the Canadian Hill, make a murder in our Ontario. Located 180 kilometers north of Toronto, Gravenhurst is home to a murder mystery that in all likelihood at the time of this recording might and could be made into a Hollywood film or that of a streaming TV show. What with so many twists and turns of loss, thus led to death and money to gain, and even a small dose of 15 minutes of fame to boot, of a tale that ends with so many questions being asked as much as how the story began. Yep, we're going right into the death part with no build-up to the characters at all. Yes, I do realize that my interviews/chats are based on real people. Moving on, the Don claimed there's no time for that crap. So here we go, my dudes. In a quiet cottage on the shores of Severn Falls. Wait, isn't that like 50 kilometers west of Gravenhurst? Meh, I'm gonna let Donnie here continue his rant. On May 12, 1947, Christina McCann wedded Jack Kettlewell in what was to be a nice eloping sort of ceremony. Due to the fact that Christoph McCann, Christina's father, opposed the marriage, religion-based opposition, thus having to run away from home 2 weeks prior. She was madly in love, you see. That type of love had no bounds and must be set to be free. Yes indeed, Christina's love for her dear old Jack was so vast that she took to writing disturbing letters and notes about how she would kill herself and her paramour if she was not to be asked for a hand in marriage. Did Jack love Christina as much as Christina loved Jack, you ask? The answer is sadly no, as Jack's heart was gifted to another, and that other went by the name of Ronald Barry. This ballroom dancer, construction, insurance business guru was even at the honeymoon cottage that he owned as a third wheel to this love triangle. So, as it would seem that due to said shape of love between three peeps, it was only appropriate for a high on codeine Christina to set fire to Ronald's log cabin, then tiptoe into shallow water, thus pass out face first into 22 centimeters of water and drown. As per the coroner's report, as per the Don. I'm not looking into this further, till death do them part. Where was Jack? Well, he was battling the fire that Christina set, you see? Wait, where was Ronald? He was fishing on his boat down the coastline and only saw black smoke from the flames after it was too late to save them. It would seem that Jack had lost his wife and Barry his cabin on this tragic day. However, it all worked out for Ronald as he had a huge insurance premium on his cabin and was the beneficiary of accidental death for both Christina and Jack separately too. It would seem that Jack's, and more so Ronald's, loss was that of a huge payday from his new wife of only 8 days. Then, to put a cherry on top of this cavernous casualty cake of crap, Christina's wedding ring was not found on her wedding finger, nor in the vicinity of her body, and is lost to the annals of history. Perhaps to be sold in a pawn shop most likely? But you know what is not lost to the annals of time? The Muskoka wharf that got a $200 million Canadian upgrade. That there wharf has a plethora of massive docks that hold entertainment and retail space along the Muskoka Bay. Not to mention, this here is one of the 2 quite beautiful gazebos too. Bird watching, outdoor reading, chill zone space? Oh, fuck yeah. Whatever the case may be for who or what killed the 8-day bride, Christina Kettlewell, 2 lovers or that of her own drugged up hand, one thing is for certain. On May 13, 1956, Ronald Barry got Jack Kettlewell to hand over all his valued assets to him and then went to New York never to be seen again. At the end of the day, all Jack had left from his ballroom lover was the memories. And that of a Pekingese dog named Ling that got run over by a snowmobile later that year apparently. But don't worry about old broken-hearted Jack, folks. He got hitched one more time, and was said before his death in 1998 that he was a real pushover that got easily bullied into everything to avoid conflict. The end.